So, science and technology are a form of meditation. I was sitting outside the other day and looking at a solar light. It's a light you stick in your yard, and it has a little solar panel on top, and it charges with the sunlight, and then at nighttime it turns on and it uses whatever energy it's gathered. And I was contemplating, how they've gotten the solar panels to be so small and how they've gotten them to be so efficient that they can store in a battery that's also small that energy that then lights a light bulb that's also small. And my wife and I were talking about how that works and what the limitations are and why can it only run, for example, for 6 hours. And we're wondering, is it because of the battery size that they haven't gotten small enough yet, or is it the conversion of the solar panel? Perhaps it doesn't convert enough energy. Maybe if to store all that energy to run for 12 hours, it would have to be, the battery would have to be too big and it wouldn't fit in the light. And it brought up something that I wanted to share, and it's that science and technology are a form of meditation. If you think about it, what scientists do is that they study something for a long time until they become very familiar with it. And that's one of the definitions of meditation. It's to become familiar with. So what they do is they look at the light bulb, right? And they hold it in their hand and they understand all of its properties and they do weird things to it and test with it as they become familiar with it. And same thing with the solar panels. They study the material, whatever they use to capture that energy, and the battery, they study it, they hold it in their hand, and they become familiar with it. And over time, as we as a society, as a humanity, as a collective consciousness, as scientists, become more familiar with the battery, they learn how to make it smaller and higher capacity and keep it cooler and make it more effective. And so all of our technologies and sciences are a result of becoming more familiar with things, of meditating on them. And really the scientific method is very much a form of a way to become familiar with something. So who knew that all scientists are meditators too? And one really important takeaway or helpful takeaway is that as you become familiar, if you choose to become familiar with yourself and your different emotions and your different thoughts and your different patterns, as you really begin to know thyself and all parts of yourself, if you choose to really meditate on them and become familiar with them, you will learn to change the way you feel. You will learn to understand why you feel the way you feel. And you will learn to feel how you want to feel instead. So with any negative emotion you have, with any pattern that you have that you want to change, with any issue in your life, have faith in the process of meditation. Have faith in the process of introspection. Have faith in the process of becoming more familiar with it. If you still have the issue, then have faith that there's just more to understand. Continue to sit with it. And through that practice, you will find the technology in yourself to clear, heal, and release whatever it is that you're working to. I hope that this was beneficial and that you appreciate it. There's so much in ourselves that we can become familiar with, and then eventually one day, perhaps there's just inner peace left.